Incredibly dramatic moments as a murder suspect is taken into custody less than 24 hours after a deadly carjacking attempt in Dearborn. The victim had just left dinner with his fiancée when he was shot in the restaurant's parking lot.
And Roop, tonight we've learned he was a beloved business owner. Fox 2's Charlie Langton joins us live with this story. Charlie.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is one of the saddest stories that I've covered in a very, very long time. I'm here in Dearborn. Basically, we had a failed carjacking for no reason at all. A 29-year-old man and his fiancée-to-be going out to dinner last night. They come out of the restaurant, and then he is shot 3 times and died. A very popular person. He worked here at the Llamas Florist. This is a family-owned business for about 30 years. But for the last 5 years, Hassan worked here and really changed the business around. Now he is dead, and the family is preparing for a funeral. Now, Dearborn police, give them credit. Less than 24 hours, they arrest 2 people, and there may be more. Take a look. On Wednesday, Dearborn police arrest a man they believe played a role in Tuesday night's shooting of 29-year-old Hassan Salami.
Sad. It's sad today how people will get rid of you over, what, a necklace?
Hassan was having dinner Tuesday night here at Sushi Co. with his soon-to-be fiancée. They plan to be engaged next month. After dinner, they walked to the parking lot.
Somebody just parked next to him. Shoot him right away, right there.
3 shots hit Hassan. His fiancée not hit, and the shooter got away.
There's all kinds of police presence here. I mean, this is in the city of Dearborn. There's excellent police presence. But somebody took one of those opportunistic crimes, unfortunately.
A necklace and keys to his Mercedes were taken, but Dearborn police believe this was a random act of violence.
Obviously, he had a Mercedes G-Wagon. They noticed it was a nice car, and then just watched him until he came out.
Tell me, what did Hassan and the family mean to Dearborn?
A lot. They're well known, lots of family, do so many events. Here, Dearborn, Farmington, everywhere.
Hassan managed the 30-year family business, Llamas Florist, in Dearborn.
Worked real hard, got his business degree, got on board, what would you say, about 5 years ago?
Yes.
And we have just skyrocketed because of his brilliance. He's a very smart man.
You know, as a Muslim, I'm supposed to forgive him, but I'm gonna tell you honestly, at this point, I don't forgive. I hope they give him 8,000 years.
All right, Dearborn police will likely present an arrest warrant or a charging warrant or a charging decision will be made by the prosecutor's office later on. But what you're looking at right now is a mosque right here in Dearborn, coincidentally across from the Llamas Florist. In about an hour, there's going to be a memorial here for Hassan. Goes from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock, and then tomorrow as well, 10 o'clock to noon. And we expect a lot of people. Again, he was an extremely popular person. His family was extremely popular, and the way that he died was just, as the Dearborn police said, a random act of violence. Now, Dearborn police say that they've got 2 in custody, as you heard, but there may be another one. This is an ongoing investigation. I'm live here in Dearborn. Jessica, I'll send it back to you.
Oh, Charlie, this could have been any of us. Pretty fast police work by Dearborn. Any idea how they were able to track these suspects so quickly?
Yeah, there was a lot of video cameras at the Sushi Co. restaurant. Likely that gave the Dearborn police a tip. He was captured at an auto dealership, not a dealership, an auto repair store, actually not too far from here. Listen, you said it. Good police work and fast police work by Dearborn and perhaps other agencies as well. But again, they're stressing this is an ongoing investigation. In fact, if you have any information about this, then call the Dearborn police. I'm live here in Dearborn. Send it back to you guys.
We'll stay on top of it. Thank you so much, Charlie.
Well, a man accused of threatening a Trenton school student is now charged with making a threat of terrorism. On Saturday, the Trenton Police Department received information about a possible threat on social media. Now we're told that it was a TikTok user who contacted a student at Arthur's Middle School. Police say the user of that account, 23-year-old Michael Joseph Kavisnicka from Grosse Ile, threatened to commit acts of violence against students and schools. The suspect is now being held on a $300,000 bond.
A suspect is now charged in connection with a woman's death in Southfield. 23-year-old Kentia Monique Fern of Wayne is charged with leaving the scene of a crash resulting in death. Authorities say Fern was driving on Providence Drive June 3rd when Mia Canoe allegedly jumped from the car. Police say Fern drove away instead of contacting police. The 23-year-old Canoe was found in the road and died days later in the hospital. The UAW strike continues with some facilities preparing to join if their names are called.
And so today it was a practice picket that was held at Stellantis headquarters out in Auburn Hills. That's where we go live to Fox News' Hillary Golson. And Hillary, so far you have 10,000 people walking right now in this pretty big strike. The fear is it could bubble to more.
Yeah, Roop, right now, all of those walkers, as you were just explaining, have pretty much completed their demonstration. So that practice picket is officially over. We probably saw closer to 3,000 people walking here, and this is all about, of course, solidarity. Remember, we've been talking about both sides of this. On the company side, across the globe, it's going to cost $1.2 trillion, $1.2 trillion for automakers to electrify by 2030. That is a cost to these companies. But then on the other side, you have many union members who are concerned about the fact that they haven't seen the kind of pay increases to keep up with inflation or have the kind of cost of living adjustments that should be in line as inflation continues to rise. All of these things, something that the workers here are considering. Now, we just learned that Stellantis just yesterday offered a fifth counterproposal to the UAW. The details unclear at this point, but I did talk to Jody Tenson with Stellantis, and they basically said they're debating and discussing all of the issues that came up in subcommittee. So I want you to hear now what the workers really want and what they want immediately. As the hands of time edge closer to noon this Friday, the UAW amplifying its clarion call, setting a decisive deadline for Detroit's Big Three. The union's ultimatum: progress in the labyrinthine contract negotiations or face an expanded strike currently ensnaring three plants.
Pickets actually allows us to show the company that we're serious, and we're not we're out here practicing to show solidarity also.
What would you say is your assessment of the negotiation between Fain and the three companies? Are you satisfied with what's happening, and do you like the way it's playing out so publicly, or is that, do you think, a drawback?
I love what he's doing. I think playing out publicly is the way to go. We have not been transparent as a union in the past, and that's changed under his administration. And that's a good thing. Things need to be played out. They need to see these bad offers we're getting from management. They need to see the good offers and the things that Sean is trying to do on our end to get better contracts.
UAW President Shawn Fain underscored the union's resolute stance, fervently asserting they won't wait forever. What is the most important thing for you?
To keep our jobs here and increase our wages. We're overdue for them. And solidarity for all our workers here at Stellantis.
Ford, Stellantis, and GM are still far apart from the union on key points, each company expressing varying degrees of optimism on the status of negotiations, as all three have announced layoffs. Dr. Merrick Masters of Wayne State University evaluates the move from the companies.
I wouldn't want to say that they were aimed at giving the companies an upper hand in the bargaining, but clearly that is an option, and they're going to have to think carefully about the extent to which they want the union to be able to time these strikes and put them at their mercy. They will take whatever measures are necessary to preserve their operations.
Parallel narratives unfold to our north, where Canadian union Unifor reached a tentative agreement with Ford, potentially auguring a paradigm for future negotiations in Canada. All right, so obviously negotiations between the big three and the UAW continuing. It's very possible that we will likely see more practice picketing as negotiations continue, depending on how long things last. Of course, it's important for the union, for its bargaining power, to be able to show they're serious. I mean, that's something the union told me today. The director of Region 1 said, look, being out here demonstrates to all of these companies we are willing at any point, Roop, to walk out if we're not getting what we feel that we deserve.
Yeah, and something that they're obviously taking their message right to the streets, and they're hoping everyone who's watching at home will agree. The bottom line is you're going to have to get the big three to sit down at a table and say, okay, we're willing to give this much. You wonder what that magic number is, asking for 40+%, Hillary, but then where do they end up expecting to land? That's a good question.
Yeah, I think that's a very reasonable question for you to ask. Of course, we're not in these subcommittee meetings, and hearing now what's happening between all three and the union, I think something that's very interesting that Dr. Merrick Masters, who follows labor very closely at Wayne State University, indicated is that, you know, a lot of the detail here is something we're not going to be privy to, even though more detail than ever in the history of negotiations is out there for members to see, for company members who are not union to be able to see. But yeah, that is an important part of this, but obviously neither side is going to want the public to know exactly where they are, but probably the assessment, I think, that is pretty ubiquitous from analysts who are watching this closely. They do believe that all the parties are far apart, and when you have something that's historic here, remember that, this has never happened before, where all three companies are involved in a strike with the UAW. We're just going to have to wait and see what happens here, Rope.
Yeah, lots of livelihoods on the line right now, and on that picket line behind you as well. Hillary Golson for us live tonight. Thank you.
Well, we hope you are enjoying this great weather as we hang on the final days of summer. It's weird to say, right?
It is. You know, I think everyone says everything's been going by so quickly, and here we are already in well in mid-September. Today's been beautiful. Weather 30 Rich Luterman with more on our warm temperatures. What are we looking at here?
Right now, mid-70s, Roop and Jess, but tomorrow and Friday, we will likely top out near 80 degrees. 78 in Battle Creek right now, close to 80 as we speak in Chicago, 70 up there in Alpena. Notice a couple of showers north of Saginaw Bay, up around Tawas right now, but really most of lower Michigan is dealing with dry weather. Pretty nice in Charlevoix. These are live pictures. Hazy sunshine, 72, looking good up there. We'll get down to 59, a very comfortable evening ahead. And then take a look at the headlines. This great stretch continues into the weekend. Very nice Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We're going to check it all in the 7-day coming up in 10.